Well, folks, it seems like the inevitable breakup between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, which we've all been anticipating for quite some time now, is finally here because in a brand new CBS News interview, Elon Musk directly criticized the Trump administration and their new signature policy, this big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump continues to talk about. And in his criticisms of the Trump administration, he wasn't shy. He didn't really hold back. He went directly at them, which I think, for one, is pretty surprising. So I want to play this clip for you from this new interview. But before I do so, I want to show you some other criticisms that Elon Musk has launched at the GOP recently, making this new interview not all that surprising to me. Elon Musk said on Twitter recently, quote, "I have come to the perhaps obvious conclusion that accelerating GDP growth is essential. DOGE has and will do great work to postpone the day of bankruptcy of America, but the profligacy of government means that only radical improvements in productivity can save our country." And this is responding to somebody that said that Elon Musk has moved away from politics in order to accelerate GDP growth because the debt is moving up so high under the Trump administration. So he is directly responding to a critique of the Trump administration and is kind of agreeing with them, saying that, yeah, the debt is continuing to go up. The deficit is continuing to go up under Donald Trump. So his solution is accelerating GDP growth. And of course, he's a narcissist. So he thinks he and only he is able to do that and boost the GDP growth so much in the United States that everybody is saved. But that's a pretty strong criticism of the Trump administration and the Republican Party, saying that only radical improvements can change the course that Donald Trump has us on. Let's show another example here. Another person tweeted out, "I fully agree with this take. I think the appetite to cut spending in Congress was so much lower than he, Elon Musk, anticipated. DOGE has done incredible work, but the GOP has failed to actually implement any of the cuts. I, for one, am incredibly disappointed." And Elon Musk responded, "Yeah, sigh," agreeing, saying he is also incredibly disappointed. And I think this is one of the most blatant criticisms that Elon Musk has launched of the Republican Party recently. I mean, this tweet is once again name dropping the GOP. They are including the Republican Party in the tweet, saying that they have failed to implement any of the cuts. And in many cases, a lot of Republicans in Congress don't want to vote on these cuts because they know it's political suicide. But a lot of the cuts that have been made have been toward like USAID and other agencies that have harmed thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world. But Elon Musk is here saying like, yeah, sigh, the cuts that he wants to implement are not being moved on by the Republicans. And once again, pretty strong criticism here. Here's another one from the same guy who said DOGE is literally one of the most popular government initiatives in history. 73% of Americans say they support cutting government waste. Trump brought in the smartest man on earth to do it. Doubtful. The left destroyed Elon for it. The GOP won't vote on it. I can't believe this. And as I said in a recent video, it kind of seems like Elon Musk admits defeat at the bottom there, saying, did my best. That's all you get from Elon Musk. All of these different cuts to different government agencies, tens of thousands of federal workers fired just like that, their lives ruined. And all we get from Elon Musk, what's the conclusion? Did my best. Did my best. If it wasn't already abundantly clear, DOGE was a complete failure. And it kind of seems like Elon Musk is acknowledging that now too. So let's get into this interview where he directly criticizes the Trump administration. And let's have a listen to what he said here.
So, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the DOGE team is doing.
I actually thought that when this big, beautiful bill came along. I mean, everything he's done on DOGE gets wiped out in the first year.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both. My personal opinion.
Wow. He is once again, of course, name dropping the big, beautiful bill. He's including the name that the Trump administration is running on with this bill. And he's saying that, yeah, in his own words, it adds to the deficit. It doesn't decrease the deficit. It increases the deficit, and he's disappointed about it, and it completely undermines the work that DOGE has done. And I wonder if Elon Musk is finally coming to the realization and the understanding of which we've all had for quite some time now, that when Donald Trump talked about cutting government waste and reducing the deficit and reducing spending, he was full of it. He was full of crap. Donald Trump has never been actually interested in that. Donald Trump knew that when he got into office, he was going to cut taxes for the wealthy, which inevitably raises the debt. He knew that. Elon Musk, it seems to have bought into that idea, or maybe he fake bought into it to get these tax cuts. But I have no idea why Elon Musk thought, even for a second, that Donald Trump would be better on government spending. The most interesting statistic in this conversation that I love using against Republicans is the fact that if you compare Biden's term to Donald Trump's first term, if you look at non-COVID spending and COVID spending on both of those fronts, Biden spent significantly less. Donald Trump actually spent almost double what Biden spent. Trump spent almost double, which is remarkable given the fact that Republicans run on, let's cut the debt, let's cut the deficit, we're going to do that, and then they explode it. It always seems like it's the Democrats actually doing that work. And it seems like this breakup that I talked about between Elon Musk and Donald Trump is far deeper than just a criticism here or a criticism there, or even a criticism in an interview. It seems like many in the Trump administration are really happy that Elon Musk is moving away from politics and leaving the White House. There was this article in The Atlantic recently called The Decline and Fall of Elon Musk, and they had this really interesting paragraph here saying 4 months after Musk's swashbuckling arrival, he is effectively moving on, shifting his attention back to his jobs as the leader of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, among his other companies. In a call last month with Wall Street analysts, Musk said he was planning to, quote, spend a day or two per week focusing on DOGE issues, similar to how he manages each of his various companies. But the next week, he seemed to suggest that he'd be slimming down his government portfolio even more, telling reporters that he expected to be in Washington every other week, which is quite different than, a day or two per week. But yesterday, at the time of the writing of this article, he told the Qatar Economic Forum in a video interview that he no longer sees a reason to spend money on politics, though that could change in the future, saying, I think I've done enough. So think about that for a second. Musk, who's one of Donald Trump's biggest fans, is now saying, I don't really want to spend on politics anymore. Maybe Musk feels stabbed in the back. I think that's perfectly reasonable to believe. He remains close with Trump, who still shows genuine affection for his billionaire benefactor, according to advisors and allies. But Musk's decision to focus elsewhere has been greeted as a relief by many federal leaders who have been busily undoing many of his cuts in their department or making DOGE-style changes on their own terms. Cabinet leaders who did not appreciate being treated like staff by the man boasting about feeding their fiefdom into a wood chipper, it's an interesting sentence, have widely ignored some of his efforts, such as his February demand that all federal employees send weekly emails to their supervisors laying out their accomplishments in bullet points. And we know that Elon Musk has gotten into screaming matches with some of Donald Trump's administration officials. So it seems like a lot of the people in the Trump administration are really happy to see Trump go. And when we talk about this breakup between Trump and Musk, it's not just the individuals themselves, it's the Trump administration as a whole breaking up with Musk. And that really seems to be the case here with the criticisms that Musk is giving, the fact that many of the people around Donald Trump are happy that Elon Musk is leaving. It just seems like this is about to get really ugly. And these criticisms that Musk is kind of using right now in this interview that we just watched might become more often. Now, will Elon Musk ever become a Democrat? No. I don't even think we want him to be a Democrat, right? I'm not holding my breath that maybe he'll have this epiphany and come to the truth. But I just find it interesting that now somebody who was once Donald Trump's biggest defender is openly criticizing him in some interviews and also doing so on social media, as we just saw. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this interview clip of Elon Musk going with an unexpected route with his criticisms of the Trump administration, but I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also drop a like on the video and comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.